रामचंद्र राज्यभाग तो लेना नहीं चाहते थे। बोले देखो हम लोग के एक साथ में हमारे जन्म हुआ, एक साथ में हमारे विद्याभ्यास किया, एक साथ में हमारी जहां, बोले देखो हम लोग के एक साथ में हमारे किया, एक साथ में। So Ramachandra told to his father when his father wanted to give the kingdom to him. He told, we are four brothers, but two brothers are not here. Bharat and Shatrugna are not here. We were born together, we got married together, we went to the school together. How can I be crowned the king without my brothers? But Vashistarishi told, but now it's a very auspicious moment. The muhurta is good. You have to be crowned now. And KK, the servant of KK, Mantara, she also created like a thing that in this way actually Bharata was the king, which should be the king, and Ram be put in exile. She did the plots for this. And then Ramachandra said 14 years in the forest. All these stories are very beautiful. How Sita Devi, she was for 13 years in the forest staying with the Ramachandra in different places. In the end, they went to stay in Nandakaranya forest. After that, so there's a beautiful story in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana in this context. Once Bhagavan Ramachandra, he was thinking, I have relished the meeting with my wife, the happiness of meeting with my wife. We were for 13 years together here in the forest. But I haven't relished yet the viraha rasa, separation rasa, the taste of being far from her. How can I relish to be far from my wife, this viraha rasa? But how can we be separated? So Bhagavan Ramachandra, he was like upset. And he was in one place in Dandakaranya. Then Agni Devata, the god fire, came to Ramachandra. And he came and told, hey Bhagavan, you know past, present and future. You are Bhagavan, you can do everything, you are full of pastime. Why are you upset? Then Bhagavan Ramachandra told to the fire god why he was upset. So he said, oh, I have relished the meeting with my wife Sita Devi, but now I want to relish some separation mood. But how can I leave Sita somewhere and go another place? And then Agni Devata told him, hey Bhagavan, give your wife to me. And I will bring your wife to Shiva and Parvati by the fire. No, because a woman can stay there with a woman, no problem. So she'll be able to stay with Parvati, no problem. Listening to this, Bhagavan Ramachandra, he was very pleased. So why Agni Devata came to help Ramachandra? In different kalpas, different days of Brahma is different story. Because Agni Devata, the fire god, in Krishna's pastime, many years later, he committed offense. And Krishna had forgiven his offense in Krishna's pastimes, Krishna Lila. The story of Bandir Bhat. This is the story of some Puranas explaining some days of Brahma. So the story is, the rishis were doing fire sacrifice, and the fire saw how pretty they were.
the wives of the rishis. So the fire started going towards the wife of the rishis. This one story. Then the rishis they cursed the fire god.
सब तुम्हें खाना पड़ेगा। तब अग्नि देवता दुखित हुए, ऋषि मुनि के कहने लगे हमें सांप से अभिशाप से मुक्त कराइए। ऋषि लोग कहने लगे
So the fire god was like salivating, like a dribbling, like he was attracted by the wives of the Munis. This is a fire sacrifice, okay? So the fire was coming to them, and then the rishi saw and cursed him. You'll become sarvabhuk. You'll eat everything. Then fire god was so upset. And he told, free us from this offense. And then they told, when Krishna appears, he will, another name of the fire, sarvabhuk. Like he has to eat everything. Even like meat, stool, everything, even alcohol. But who will worship fire god if he becomes impure? Then the gods, the rishis told. But when Krishna will come in Dwapara-yuga, not in all Dwapara-yugas Krishna comes. In that Dwapara-yuga where Swayam Bhagavan Krishna will come, then even though you're a sababuk, like eating everything, he will purify you. So Bhagavan performed this pastime. Bhagavan ate the fire. So, the fire became the uchista, the remnants of Krishna. That's why the fire is always pure. So remembering this, Agni Devata is studying now here. Prabhu, in one kalpa, you have purified me from the curse that I was eating everything, sarvabhuk. That's why the fire is never impure. Some smarta brahmanas, they say, oh no, this fire is from one thing and this fire another thing is not purified. Actually, no. Like, okay. So the smarta brahmanas, they light every weeks with different like matches, because they think, suppose somebody's offering a week to the deity, suppose, then you want to light a new weeks that will still be offered with that one, then you should not, because they say, because like otherwise it will be juta or something like that. But no, actually no, what they're saying, the fire is always pure. So fire god told, oh, your wife can be with my Parvati, and she'll be protected because she'll be with Shiva and Parvati. And whenever you want, you tell me, and I'll bring back your wife. Saying this, Bhagavan Ramachandra, when he told this, Ramachandra was very pleased. So he told to Sita, hey Sita, I need to do some pastime. Help my pastimes. Sita Devi told, oh my husband, whatever you want. Then he told, for some time, go by the fire, you go to Kailash and sing with Shiva and Parvati in Kailash. Saying this, by the means of the fire, Sita Devi, she went to Kailash, and her shadow, Chaya, was behind. So according to Brahma Vaivarta Purana explains, in other Puranas there are many stories people doubt, but in Brahma Vaivarta Purana explains very, very nicely. But Ramachandra didn't tell to Lakshman. Only Sita knew, and Ramachandra, and the fire god. Only them knew about it. So Sita left with the fire god to Parvati, and who came in her place? The Chaya Sita. So you know how Ravana came to kidnap Sita, and then Marich was in the form of a golden deer, and he was wandering near the hut. And then Ramachandra went hunting Marich, the golden deer. You know the story. And then Ravana kidnapped Sita. But actually, which Sita Ravana kidnapped? The Chaya Sita, actually. The original Sita was taken. So later, this Chaya Sita She stayed for how many months in Ashoka Batika? Almost 1 year. I think maybe for 8 or 9 months she stayed, or 10 months maximum in Lanka. Then Ravana was killed. After Ravana being killed, Vibhishan became the king of Lanka. He was crowned the king. So after he won, then Ramachandra told, "Oh, I want to test the chastity of Sita." But actually, this was only a excuse. Actually, by the fire, he wanted to bring his original Sita came back. But Lakshman didn't know. So Ram was telling, "Oh, light the fire up because I want to test the chastity of Sita." Then Lakshman was so angry. Many times, actually, in the Ramayana, we see how Lakshman was angry with Ramachandra. Not one time, many times. He became angry. So that's why when I say about Baladeva Tata or Nityananda Tata, so sometimes I tell one story that Krishna told to go to Baladeva, "I'll not bring you in my Gauranga pastimes." But then Baladeva promised, "I'll never do anything against you. Like I'll never do any objection to you." Baladeva promised to Krishna about Gauranga pastimes. That's why Akruta Paramananda, Nita is never angry like this. Because Lakshman, many times he becomes angry. So in the end, Ramachandra explained to Lakshman everything. Who is my original Sita and which one is my fake Sita? Oh, so this is my Chaya Sita, fake Sita. Then Lakshman became pacified later. So Ramachandra took Sita and they went to Ayodhya back. Then another story comes. This Chaya Sita was there. Chaya Sita asked to Bhagavan Ramachandra, "Prabhu, what will happen to me? What should I do? Where will I go?" Ramachandra told her, "Chaya Sita, do one thing. Do some austerities for some time, and then go to Swarga Loka, become Lakshmi there." So this Chaya Sita became Sarga Lakshmi. So you know the story of Swarga Lakshmi. Then sometimes, in, so this Chaya Sita later, she prayed to Bhagavan, "Prabhu, what will happen to me later on?" So Bhagavan told to Swarga Lakshmi, "In Draupadi, you'll help my Leelas. You'll become Draupadi." So this Lakshmi of Swarga Lakshmi, in Draupadi, she came as the Draupadi form. She also manifested from the fire. Time is up. That's why I'm making brief the story, but it's a very beautiful story. So she was the daughter of the king Draupadi came from the fire. And also she married the 5 Pandavas later. You know the story. Especially how Arjun, he got the Draupadi in that contest. Then Draupadi, so she appeared as Draupadi in Dwapara. So that story of Vedavyati. So she came in Sata, Treta, and Dwapara. So she helped the pastimes of Krishna in the 3 yugas. That's why her name is also Trihayani. Trihayani. Because she was Vedavati in Satyuga, in Treta as Chaya Sita, and Draupadi in Dwapara Yuga. That's why her name is also Trihayani. Very beautiful Katha described. Harikata is very beautiful. How Bhagavan Ramachandra?
यहाँ पर भी कथा सुंदर हम जो कथा जो वर्णन करते हैं कहाँ पर जाते हैं बड़े परिक्रमा करते हुए हम जब
So in the ashram of Valmiki, Sita gave birth to two sons, Lav and Kush. So also when we go to that place in the Vrajamandala Parikrama, that place of Dhruva Maharaj, the place of the stairs of Dhruva Maharaj. The story of Madhavan in the context of the story of Madhavan, we tell this katha. To kill Lavanasur, Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, he sent Shatrughna to Mathura. Bhagavan Ramachandra inspired Shatrughna to come. When Shatrughna was coming on the way, that day, Lav and Kush, they were born from Sita. Nobody knew her name was Sita. Everybody used to call her Bandevi, like Devi of the forest, Bandevi. Nobody knew she was Sita. Everybody used to call her only like Bandevi. So in that day that Lav and Kush were born, exactly on that same day, Shatrughna was coming, and he passed in that night in the he took rest in the ashram of Valmiki that night, but he didn't know. Shatrughna didn't know that Sita Devi was there. So the two boys were born. So Shatrughna, he gave blessing to them when they were born, Swasti Vachan and everything. You'll be victorious everywhere. You'll be able to be victorious everywhere. So this katha is there. Shatrughna, so he didn't know the boys were sons of Sita, but he saw they were very effulgent. You know, imagine if somebody. That's why if you see the people from Ayodhya, they put some tilan in their forehead. Understand? Because Bhagavan Ramachandra came in which dynasty? Surja, not the dynasty of the sun. Srimad Bhagavatam explains. Bhagavan Krishna came in the dynasty of the moon, and Bhagavan Ram in the dynasty of the sun. Until nowadays. You can see. You'll be able even to defeat the sun. So, but Shatrughna didn't know there was the son. They were the sons of Sita Devi. They just told, oh, this one Devi, she gave birth in this ashram. So he gave blessing, and Shatrughna then proceeded to defeat Lavanasur. But he spent one night like in the Valmiki ashram. He went there, Shatrughna. So for that night he spent there. All this katha is very beautiful also. Life history of Sita Devi is so beautiful. Later we'll discuss more katha. Also there's the Lav and Kush katha. Also how Ramachandra, for 11,000 years he performed sacrifice with Swarna Sita, and each time there was a different golden murti of Sita. All of them, they appeared in Braj as gopis. How they were born as gopis. Then you've heard about Sita. Valmiki Rishi came in the fire sacrifice place. Valmiki gave all the evidence, but still Ramachandra was not ready to believe. And in the end, Valmiki Rishi came as a witness. Valmiki Rishi came. He told to Ramachandra, these are your two sons. Yes. because so we are trying to endeavor to get so to be like inheritance to the to a small thing. But imagine, so Ramachandra wanted to really make sure that they were his sons. He wanted some tests to prove that this Lav and Kush were his sons, because imagine, the kingdom of Ram is so big and everything. You have to decide to check properly who is there, who is the so even the three mothers came, and they are saying, "Oh, Ram, why you're still thinking if they are your sons or not? They are your sons." But still, Ramachandra wanted some evidence, proof that they are my sons. I want some proof. You see these two boys, they are just your face. Lakshman, Bharat, everybody was telling Ram, except they are your sons. Even the three mothers, even them. Kaushalya, Sumitra, and KK. All of them, they were saying. Everybody was telling. Even the three daughters-in-law, Urmila, everyone. Still, Ramachandra was not accepting that they were his offspring, his sons. So following the rules, Ramachandra. No, Sita Devi will have to come and witness. Valmiki also came to witness. Valmiki told, I am the son of my father. I have never lied in my whole life. Ram, I'm telling you the truth. Sita is the pure. She has never, nothing has touched her except you. They are your sons. Actually, when Ramchandra left Sita, she was pregnant for 1.5 months already. This story is very beautiful. Sorry, 2.5 months she was pregnant. But Sita Devi had to come herself to prove that they were her sons and his sons. So she came. She said, yes, these two sons, are yours. Then everybody told, oh, we committed offense against you before. So Devi told. I cannot sit next to Ram. Why? Now, the subjects are saying this. Where is the prem? Where's the love? Maybe tomorrow they'll tell that I am impure and then you give up me again. The things like this, one day accept, another day reject me. So David told, no. It's a very beautiful story. So in this moment, the earth divided in the middle and a throne came from the middle. And the earth herself came and told, oh, my daughter, come to my lap. So she came to Prithvi and Sita entered Patala. Then Ramachandra, he could not hide his mood. Sita, Sita, yes, Sita, I'll destroy the whole earth. Sita. Then Brahma came and pacified Ramachandra. And then continues the Ramayana Katha. I mean the story. And so I told everything briefly.